everyone. Welcome to Season 2 of Belonging Songs. It's your weekly podcast that brings you a brand new original song. Each episode then talks about the theme of that song and the processes that went into writing and recording it, sometimes the revisions we make along the way. I am your host, Wade Dana. With me in the studio today, and as always, my good friends, Patrick Crane.
If we're listening to this, I'm still on the show.
And Brad Maurer.
I'm just glad we got picked up for another season, big guy. Everything's going good.
That's right, Season 2. We did it. We made it. Made it through the hiatus. Made it through all
Christmas.
Made it through, hopefully. I mean,
It was a great Christmas.
Yeah. What else did we do? How was your Thanksgiving?
tasty.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Had some yams.
Made it through the election, hopefully. We don't know what's going on. We're in the past. We're obviously going to take the time machine to this present so we can start this episode, Season 2, Episode 1, The Disguise, a collaboration between Brad and Patrick.
Again.
2-3 years in the works here.
Yeah, that's why we're starting this now. It's actually 1988. We went back in time to
Way
try to
back
get
in
this
time.
thing cooking.
Brad and I have matching jean jackets
We
and
do.
parachute
We
pants.
do.
So welcome back, guys. So happy to be starting a new season.
How are you doing? Welcome back.
I was not prepared to take questions today. I'm doing well. Yeah, I'm very excited to start a new season with you guys. Looking forward to all the new songs we're going to do and the work we're going to get done.
I look forward to the unknown. That's how we started with Season 1, is we didn't have a whole lot in the till, and it's really cool to know that we have a reason to fill it again.
BSrs, welcome back as well. And as of right now, we have nothing in the season 2.
Nothing in
till.
Season 2.
We're hoping by the time we
get
make it
some
here
songs.
from 1988.
Hope we got some songs.
Should
We do.
We should probably just record our year in review
right now?
for Season 2 now.
Oh, yeah. We can do that.
No, but yeah, it's awesome because this project is a force. It makes us get shit done, and we know that we can do it because we did it for a season. And we still have a couple things to fall back on if we need to, but the goal is not to use them. So it's stuff like this that we're going to look at today, doing more of. And who knows, it's not planned out. We don't have an outline.
Unless you don't like the song, then we're not doing anything like this again.
Exactly right.
Okay, tell us about this song.
This started... Brad, did we record this initial riff when we were doing the leaving home stuff, or was that after?
Yeah, Wade came over, remember, after a heavy day of spraying some polyurethane. He was slightly buzzed and tired.
I clearly don't remember.
Right, he was out of his mind. And so he was sitting in a chair in my studio, and Patrick and I were playing stuff, and he had no idea we were actually recording stuff because we have a kind of a haphazard process, remember?
Yeah, this song came together during that particular session. We could not figure out where we even wanted it to go.
And didn't know it was keepable.
And, we've talked about this before. There's days where you sit down with the intent of writing a song and nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of those days. And Wade comes out of his gold spray paint haze and goes, "This is how you guys write songs?"
I had no idea you guys were even working on
Right,
something.
yeah, exactly. Because it was well, just play that. Play
Yeah,
this.
because he happened to come in at peak frustration.
Yes, and so we were playing guitars to things,
Yeah.
but Wade wasn't hearing it because he's sitting in a chair, and we were recording a lot of stuff direct, so we were just talking while we were doing stuff, and there was no studio vibe at all. It was a hangout.
I think I was like, Brad, can I use your shower?
Yeah, you definitely took a shower, and you came up and you sat polyurethane stoned in a chair the rest of the day.
So this song came up. I had this riff. I wanted to write, oddly enough, going back to something Brad does. I wanted to write something with a vibe, and I wanted sort of a TV show kind of theme. When I was messing around with it, it sounded like a true crime show. So we called this True Crime for a while.
It was.
But I also have, for the last couple of years, really wanted to write a song about what this song's about, which we'll get to
Sounds pretty meta.
in a little bit. Yeah, so they just both kind of collided one night. I was over at Brad's when we were working on the Are You Coming With Me session.
Season 1 finale.
And then in typical form, I was ready to pack it up. Brad throws this song on again, and we had I don't know, it was
A couple hours.
and it just came.
Yeah.
It's not done, but
Right. We were thinking we were tapped out on the other song. We had taken that as far as we possibly could. And I was like, I still want to do something for a little while. You're here. We don't do this often enough.
Right.
So I was like, hey, let's listen to this other thing. And I just threw it up without asking him. And then we started doing stuff to it. And then we were both in it. And we got from that thing, we took it from very basic to outlined and knowing exactly kind of where it wanted to be. And then I've played with it a little bit since then. It's far, far, far from done.
Okay.
It's not even close to being done. It's way open to ideas, interpretations. I don't like this. It doesn't have a bass in it. I tried to put some bass to it this morning. Couldn't get there yet. So
Okay.
it's at that stage.
yeah. So
Cool.
we were hoping, similar to the Are You Coming With Me episode, that we would take the listeners on the total evolution of this song from I don't even know if I'd call this a demo yet.
No.
But yeah, because it doesn't have bass and
Yeah, and Wade asked, "Is it ready?" And we were like, "Well, I think it's
no.
I think it's ready. It's not as it sits normally, but
Well, that's where we want to start.
I think
so.
we're ready to present it."
Okay, let's give it a listen. This is called...
The Disguise is the title, right?
Can
Patrick?
you explain to me why it's called Creepy Doctor when you sent it to me?
After you listen to the song, you might know why.
Okay. Let's,
and once Patrick explains what his
This isn't the
lyrics
Halloween episode
are
anymore.
potentially about.
let's give it a listen.
Obviously a big work in progress, right?
She's rough.
She's rough.
This sounds exactly like I remember it.
Says the guy who said, I don't remember this.
Go in the garage and huff some paint. It'll bring back memories.
All right, so let's dive into what the song is about. You guys obviously know, but as an outsider here, I'm getting, obviously somebody has committed some sort of crime.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's some sort of abuse going on, especially from this line, like, I'll make you famous someday, because they're going to get caught, and the victim is going to get found out as a result.
Nice job.
So I'm on the right track.
Yeah, you're absolutely
Okay.
on the right track. So this is kind of difficult to talk about just because this is inspiration that has, I think, being residents of Michigan, even though this was a national thing, this hit really close to home for me. I guess not to draw this out, it's about the Larry Nassar case.
Okay.
Being a graduate of MSU, being a healthcare professional.
You want to just fill the listeners in who may not be familiar with that case?
Yeah, if you're not familiar with this was a gymnastics team physician and professor at Michigan State University. Made headlines across the country. He had been molesting hundreds of gymnasts, of athletes. And it when I say it affected me personally in a lot of ways, not because I was a victim, but just because of how it resonated throughout my community, both my work community, but also my literal community where I live. And so it's one of these events in life that just I'm constantly thinking about and constantly angry about and ashamed about having an affiliation with the same university where this guy perpetrated crime. So I've wanted to obviously get this out in song form for a long time, but my hesitation lyrically with this song and the whole idea that these lyrics, just after we figured out that the song had kind of a true crime vibe, I'm like, well, I have this idea that I've been thinking about. I don't want to speak for the victims.
Right.
I think the victims have done an incredible job of speaking for themselves. So it's even a cautious set of lyrics to try not put words in their mouth, but I wanted to tell that story in a different way.
Okay. Did you write all the lyrics for this?
I think I wrote all the lyrics to this.
Cool, because that may be the first time you've written all the lyrics for a song on the show, right?
Yep.
Awesome. Knowing that, what it's about, I was on the trail. I didn't know the specifics of that, but knowing that, I would really like to hear, if we want to, switch over to the more technical part.
Sure.
There's a part in the lyrics then where you flip perspective. It seems like this first part is all from the criminal perspective. And then there's a flip where you go, now I can see your thin disguise, where you are now looking from the outside. I would like to hear some anger in the delivery of the vocals right there into the end.
Yeah. Hard to get Brad to do that. Brad's not an angry guy, but I could try yelling at him more.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I agree. I agree completely.
Yeah. That second session when we were doing this was actually kind of similar to the way the first one went.
Yeah.
Patrick would just kind of be there and he would have the pen and he was writing things and then he would get 2 lines and then I would sing them. Yeah. And then 2 more lines, I would sing them. And so it was kind of a jot down. And that's really where these are at. He was wondering if I redid the vocals. I didn't do anything since that day we were there, but maybe reverb and tweak levels and things like that. So we can definitely, that's a really good observation and
maybe
point.
some
that
more
whole,
like distorted,
guitars,
angry guitar and stuff too, and drums.
I
and
totally agree. And that whole repeating, now I see your thin disguise, that's placeholder lyrics. So we can even add more lyrics in there too.
I struggled trying to find a way to fill that tempo change because it seemed like the carpet pulled out, which is intentional because of the flip.
Right.
And so I did add some keyboards and some things in there and some other kind of weird guitar things. And I was trying to do that to swirl it up a little bit to make it kind of more, you could feel the shift. Yeah. And so I think we just need to stay on track with that.
Yeah.
And then.
There was nothing that like distracted me or that I thought like was a bad transition, but just overall, I think
lyrically,
that's what the song kind of is asking for.
An angry level.
There needs to be more power there. Yeah. I totally agree.
I do also, before I found out exactly what it was about and wrote flip in that spot, I did have a note that says I would like this to get bigger. So I was already sensing that that needed more of a build at that point.
Right.
Yeah, it did.
And
does.
my other notes are at the end, I would like to hear also more of a build and maybe some of the lyrics like taking a higher range. Like the cadence is kind of
Yeah.
the same.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe at the end, some of the inflection on the tail words kind of going upward just to give a little
That's I was thinking
more,
about that, and maybe having
soaring
them
feel.
flow into each other.
Yeah.
You know, so one tails up, another one comes in, kind of thing, and then it builds that way. We have to play around with the end, I think, a lot, but that's a good idea. It definitely, I like to transpose sort of
Yeah.
maybe
like see us in disguise,
Yeah.
like stuff like that. Now,
Yeah.
let's talk about instrumentation on here. You guys worked on this together. It seems like I'm hearing some of your guitar work in there, Patrick.
I think almost all the guitar
Majority.
except for the little bit
Okay.
of lead is me.
Still
Yeah.
like learning kind of your style and things, but some of those sound familiar to me as you're
Mhm.
playing. So then, Brad, you are kind of doing a lot of the producing on this thing.
I
And
did.
keyboards. He played keyboards.
Okay.
He played some of the lead fills.
Yeah, I did, and I added some stuff this morning even to it. Just the end didn't have any guitars other than the one you did, which was just kind of notes,
Yeah.
and so it really dropped out. So it's like I'll just throw some shit in there. So I was just playing. I played some chords through the tube screamer a little bit just to give it a
Okay.
little beef at the end, and did some
I
lead
like the
stuff.
beef. You beefed it up.
And I did some lead stuff with it and turned them way down. But yeah, I mean, 90% of what you hear is from Patrick.
Okay, cool.
And
So
just the one keyboard.
obviously, this still needs bass,
Yeah.
and then some filling out.
Needs a
and-
lot of slap bass, I think.
Yeah.
Sparkly slap.
Sparkly slap.
I think the bass line on this song is going to be very important
Mm-hmm.
because of the dynamics of it. And so I had a couple things jotted down, and I didn't really like where they landed, so I didn't want to imply anything by leaving it in, so I took it out.
Okay.
You know, for this listen, because I do think that that's going to be a big part of what the overall song is going to be. That's going to be the muscle.
Okay.
Anything else
Yeah.
that we can take back to the
What are
studio
your
with
general
us?
thoughts? Can it? Throw it away?
No, I think you're on the right track. Like you said, this is in the early stages
Yeah.
still, even though you've been working on it for a really long time. But I think
What's funny is I think it's 2 sessions.
Yeah,
Maybe
2
3.
sessions. 2 sessions, 2 years. What's the big deal?
We can't afford studio
That's
time
right.
at Brad's.
That's right.
I'm excited to
Expensive.
see what you guys do with it to
Yeah,
finish it out.
okay.
Yeah, I think you're on the right track. I just think you need to keep at it, and I'd be more than happy to help if you need me.
I think there's going to be a lot of spaghetti
hmm
for this song because I think real similar to the other one, Leaving Home last season that we gave you. There's just going to be a lot of stuff there, and we're going to be able to pull some of it out. But Patrick and I usually jot down all of our ideas,
hmm
and so you'll have that struggle.
Then
to
make
deal
you
with.
sort them out.
Okay.
so look forward to that, and
Well-
then we'll make sure you're pressed for time.
Great. Yeah.
So
Seeing as this is
We'll
going
get
to be
them to you the
the
night before.
first episode.
we are committing that this is.
That's
the
why we
first
wanted to get
episode.
this one in now,
Lock
so
it
you guys
in.
do finish.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I think we should jump in the time machine
Let's get in there.
and get working on this song.
Let's do it.
Set course.
To the future!
Hello, BSers. We are back.
Ooh, I am just about out of granola bars from the future.
Well, good thing we can restock. So we are talking The Disguise, a Patrick and Brad production, written by Patrick, produced by Brad and Patrick. And when we left it last, you guys had just kind of sketched out the idea. There was a lot to fill out. You were on the right track. That was my feedback. Like, you guys just need to keep at this, keep working at it. Specifically, my feedback said, like, the end could use more of a build, especially where the flip in perspective happens from
Yeah,
the
more
point of
emotion.
view. That was about it. It was very basic. So you guys got together just one more time since that point?
Was it 2 more times, Brad?
I think it was 2 more times.
our recording schedule got pushed back a couple times. So that
Yeah.
gave you guys an opportunity to get together. I got the Rona, so I was quarantined for a while. And things have gotten only worse here in Michigan as far as the pandemic goes.
Wade went ahead and gave everybody the Rona, apparently.
I do nothing but stay away from people, even when it's not global pandemic time.
Mm-hmm.
And now that it is, I wear a mask, I stay away from people, I work by myself. I'm the one who got it, which is ridiculous.
You are the dirtiest. You're the dirtiest of the dirty kids.
Yeah, you are.
Unreal. So anyway, that pushed our recording schedule back.
Whatever you say, lice boy.
So you guys were able to get together and work on
why are you
this.
sharing hats with the kids in school?
And I'm glad you guys got to get together on this because you had started this quite a long time ago. And
Yeah. So this song, Brad and I have had these moments of just like perfect in sync songwriting, bouncing ideas back and forth. And then we've also had moments of just staring at the screen going,
and just trying to do stuff, then it doesn't work, and
so what was
it's
what was the experience when you got together on this?
the last time we got together, it started off as,
Okay.
but then we worked a lot on filling stuff out. We got the rhythm section in. The song didn't have bass last time the listeners listened to it.
Okay.
The rhythm section is really what we need to, what I need to kind of bounce ideas off of. So Brad laid down some bass. That was helpful. And here we are.
Okay, you guys added bass. What else have you done to this? Or do you want to listen to it before we get into that?
Let's
Let's
listen
listen-
to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't give away all of our secrets.
This is full demo of The Disguise. Okay. So now that we've listened to that, why don't you guys take us through what you did?
So the main issue I had with the song, in addition to your feedback, is the transition where it slows down. That part was really a hard stop, and I
That's
wanted it.
essentially the solo
Right.
section of the song.
Yeah, and I really wanted that to be a smoother transition, but still have a starkness in emotion. And Brad and I spent, I don't know, 2 hours just focused on probably 6 measures there, trying to get that smoothed out. And I think it's a lot better in this demo compared to the first version we heard. So I'm really curious to see what you did with that as far as production goes. The other thing we want to do is we really wanted to fill the last half of the song, like you said, it need to have emotion. I think this mix, it sounds really muddled a little bit, but it's heavier. So again, I'm excited to see what you did with it. And then Brad, I don't think I heard those last few chords in the end when I left it, but I really like that.
We did it really quick. I think you were on your way out. I had moved the drums around and stopped them right there. And you're like, oh yeah, that's good. And I just kind of took that and finished it up a little bit. And then I did change the bass a little bit from when you and I were sitting down, just because I was getting really frustrated and it was stepping on things and I just had trouble with it.
Yeah, that last
and that
was rough.
Yeah, and I sent Wade an SOS text going, listen, man, this song's got all the legs to get to someplace. I said, but I'm frustrated trying to figure it out. And I know Patrick's frustrated trying to figure it out. Throw some spaghetti at it. See what,
your message was work your magic, which is why, Patrick, you had mentioned that Instagram post that I put up, which is a picture of me with my hand on my head, like the guy send you a track and say work your magic, because Brad actually did send that to me.
I said work your magic.
So here's what I'll say without sounding egotistical. I think this song has great bones. I thought it did when I first started sketching it out. I thought it did the first time we listened to it.
Now, where would you put this in an album if you were going to situate it?
Probably not right at the beginning. Probably not right at the end. I would think...
So it's a middle track with good bones.
Yeah.
Middle track.
I think it's definitely...
That's how we're going to sell it. That's how we're going to sell it.
I think it's definitely a middle track.
But yeah, listening to it with critical ears on, I'm really excited to see what the production's going to do, because I think it's a good song.
It is. It was just... it had a lot to do with the process. It was very haphazardly put together. I think we talk about that in the beginning of the show here.
Yeah.
This episode. And I think to try to turn that into something cohesive is always a challenge. And I think we had done enough to where it was just, okay, we can't add anymore.
Right.
The adding phase is done.
Right.
You know, and when you and I were getting together, it was all about producing parts. And I'm like, I don't think we're that ship's done. That put a bow on that. And I think that's why I sent it to Wade. Just like, I think this needs some editorial love, because I think Patrick and I threw everything we can at it, and it's to the point where now it's just getting really messy.
Wade's got to peel the spaghetti off the wall after it's stuck.
Right. That's how I give him stuff on my own also. Is
there's a point when everything where you just need to step away and let fresh ears listen to it. Wade texted us and asked, do you want to hear this before the show? And I was like, no, I want to be surprised by it. So
it looks like Brad froze up here.
Brad's chicken has been poisoned.
But yeah, Brad did send me this whole session, and I do have notes on it. And because I've gotten a hold of this, I have a mix that I have done of this. So we're not going to have to jump to the future in this episode. But we are going to have to take a pause right here for technical difficulties. Let's figure out how to get Brad back.
Please stand by. We are currently experiencing technical difficulties. Your listenership is important to us.
Okay, we're back.
I don't even remember what we were talking about.
Technical difficulties. We just listened to the song. You guys sent it to me. I got the version you just listened to.
We told you to make it good.
You said, yeah, work your magic. I took notes before I started working on it. So I have a set of notes for my pre-editing and arranging stuff. And then I also have a set of notes for what I did while I was working on it. So I think we'll go through my pre-listen notes, then we can listen to the mix, and then maybe I can go through my second version of notes of what I actually did. Brad had kind of prefaced this like, you got some work to do.
This asshole comes over to my house, thinks he has a song. Can we just humor him?
No, that wasn't it at all. It was, like I said, we were done contributing. It was production time.
Wade, just do me a solid and mix this for Patrick. Make him feel like he contributed. We'll move on.
No, I mean, we just listened to that demo, and that it sounds good. Like you said, there's bones there that are good. And my job then as a producer is to find the best version of the song in there. That's what I attempted to do, was like pull out everything that could make this even better. And we can just go down the list of my notes here. My first note is there's no chorus on this song. So It's a lot of verse and exposition, and a lot of it is sung the same way. So my first note is like, I need to condense this intro because it's doing the same thing that's happening throughout this song. We kind of need to get to the point because it's all verse,
Right.
So I felt that was something I wanted to address right off the bat. So I wrote that down. You're using an electronic drum kit throughout this. I just had a note like, I want to play around with some different stuff, see if I can give this a little more life. My next note was, as I'm listening through, I was trying to find something to grab onto because, like I said, this is a lot of exposition, a lot of verse. So when you get to the part where you yell, "Now I see your thin disguise," I'm like, okay, this is the tagline. This is what we need to grab onto and highlight. So I was like, this needs to be bigger. I even need to maybe cut some of the instrumentation out to highlight it. And that's kind of going to be the theme of the song we need to kind of hammer home as this song finishes out. I thought the end vocals needed some work. Brad, you had mentioned before we started recording that this song was out of your normal range. You had even mentioned in our last episode we were recording, which I think is probably going to come out after this 1 out of 10. You had tuned your guitar down, and that's something you like to do because it allows you to sing in a more comfortable range.
Absolutely.
This song is getting up, and it's really pushing your range. So I noticed that in the end vocals, they were going to need some work.
I hope your solution was a vocoder.
I can tell you what it was. It's even better than that.
Oh, yeah, it is. Pretty good. Pretty good. On a side note to that, real quick, because we were talking about it off the record, It is something I learned in time. You know what I mean? Like, it took me a while to figure out that I couldn't hit the notes, you know, and go, so what is your vocal range? You know, there's nobody sitting in a chair next to me going, oh, that's not you, man. Like, you can't do that. So I know I can either go falsetto and get some sort of accomplishment there.
Right.
I don't have, in my regular singing voice, there's a place where it just can't go. And once I recognize that, when I try to do it, that's when I get a little frustrated. And that's where I was with this song as well.
I also wanted to get into the faster part of the song quicker. Like at the beginning, you do a couple slowdowns where there's a break and then it goes back in, especially after I'm going away for a long, long time. You kind of come back to that and then there's a pause and then you complete the line. I thought like if we just cut that out and get right into the fast part, that's going to help move this song along. So that was something I knew I wanted to play around with.
That was a late addition, actually. That was some preliminary feedback from another friend, and we were just trying it. So, yeah, good edit.
So those are my initial notes. Those are things I know I want to look at as I start to edit this song, arrange it a little bit, and then ultimately mix it. So I spent a good amount of time just doing just that, just cleaning up tracks and then starting to move things around to put this into more of a dynamic song form. Because like I said, it's very samey throughout. And I was like, we need to give it something to hold on to somewhere, a highlight, like a tagline, something you can sing along to or catch on to that'll actually stick with you. And we need to give it some dynamic. So those are my goals going in. And I spent a good amount of time doing that. I spent a day doing that, and then I spent a day mixing it. Brad has heard this. I sent it to him last night, but Patrick, you're going to be hearing this mix and edit for the first time.
I am.
And because I was given free reign, Patrick, you have actually said you have free reign to do what you want.
Yeah,
Brad
yeah.
had kind of said the same.
And that's intentional. After leaving home, I did some self-reflection, and this I really wanted to shove any ego down and just let your critical ear do everything. So I'm excited.
My mix is a minute shorter than what we just listened to
Cool.
because you gave me that free reign. And I guess we should listen to it, and then we can
I mean,
talk
I'm not
about
going to listen to it, but cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
do whatever.
Just make sure we give Patrick the minute.
Yeah.
Whatever that minute was, he wants it back.
I want it back.
That's his goddamn minute. Okay.
And this song doesn't have to be done. This isn't my song. This is what I did to it because you guys said kind of do your thing on it. So we're going to listen to it, and then we're going to talk about it, and it may change more. So
All right.
if not, we'll have a moment of silence for Patrick's minute.
1 minute.
All right. The disguise, edit, and mix.
Going away for a long, long time. I'm forgetting off easy, leaving you behind. Going away for a long, long time. Need you to stop because I can't stop being in my head. Whatever you want, I won't give, but you still get away. I wanted something else from you. I'll make you famous someday. Now we're here alone, meeting for the first time. Do I have myself to blame? Washed my hands 1,000 times, but I know I'll do it again. Bottle up whatever this is, so we can do it again. And then I do it Now I see your fill the sky. Now I see your fill the sky. Now I see your fill the sky.
All right. I don't know who wants to start. Brad, you've had time to process. Or if Patrick, if it's your song, so if you want to jump right in or give Brad
What
a chance, it's up to
happened?
you.
Go ahead, Brad.
I want to just say that I love where this every problem from a production standpoint I was having and I was struggling with. And I don't know if it was the fact that I don't have the tools to do it, but I think more likely it was I don't have the patience to really nurse it along. I think Wade, you said you spent something like 12 more hours on it. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, no, I probably couldn't have done that, So I think that everything that was taken out, I don't miss like at all. And everything that was put in creatively, I think, more than makes up for what was removed. And so I think it
Yeah.
was it's a great edit of a great song. I think I really like the song. I've always loved the song just because the story it's telling, it's a little creepy and it's meant to be, and it stayed that way. Nothing really got changed. It's just it's complete.
Yeah, it sounds much more like a song now. I'll echo exactly everything Brad's saying. Did you add a guitar track?
I did. I added a guitar track in the middle of the second verse there
Yep.
because nothing really helped to build it, and it was all sounding the same. And I thought we need something here, and then I added vocals at the end. Those are the only things I added.
Mm-hmm.
Brad, that's how I fixed your vocals. I got rid of them,
Yeah, it
and
had,
then I re-recorded my own.
it had to happen.
Yeah, I liked your vocals. I definitely picked up on that. I think that helped it along. I love the pauses that you built in initially. You know, just like I said before we listened, one of the issues was how abrupt the pauses are. Now they make more sense in the song. And my buddy Brent, one of his comments, which is why we tried that first pause in there, was, wouldn't it be cool if everything stopped and then came flooding back at you again? And that's what you did successfully. So,
See, you guys had done that at the beginning,
right,
but you went back into a slower part,
right,
so it
Yeah.
didn't give you that rush.
right.
Um,
Geddy Lee.
which, yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, the intro I changed and condensed, and then I cut that section after your first pause that was slower and just got right into that fast part. And I think that helps get us going quicker. Added that guitar to help continuing the song to build there. And then that second pause wasn't in the song. I added that for the Now I See Your Thin Disguise part. So I dropped all the instrumentation out there.
Yeah, I think the analogy Patrick's friend Brent mentioned was the road runner, right? Stepping off
Yeah.
of running off
Yeah.
of a cliff, and then he wanted like the vocal to run through, and I was like, oh, that's a really cool concept. I put it where I put it just because it was the timestamp that he was thinking about, and I was like, well, let me put it in there because it was an idea I didn't have. But that was a really good execution and cleanup of that idea, because I
Yeah.
think from the initial idea that is a really great idea from him, and the fact that you kind of tweaked it and made it work with going into a more substantial part, really
And
cool.
another interesting thing to play off what you just said. So I did that snare build going into the solo part, and I did that with
Yeah,
a
I like
feedback delay, and that really builds us into that part. And my wife was listening to this last night, and she got a little emotional because she knows what this is about, and she's like, the solo, that's the crime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And-
that's exactly how it was written.
And then you get that drop off, like Brad, like you said, like everything falls out and you're exposed, or the person is exposed during that
Mhm.
big chorus part, which is the climax of the song. And then you'll notice when everything comes into the outro, I cut out your last little verse there because I thought the song just had so much exposition as it was that once we got to that tag, that we really needed just to hammer that home. Basically, those lines were reiteration on that anyway, and I
Right.
thought it would be more effective just to go out with that. Like, you've been caught. So what are your thoughts on that, Patrick?
I guess my initial response is just thank you. This is I don't know. It's a project that we've both been fighting with. I think we were both, I'd like to say I didn't care about it, and it you know, like Brad usually does, but I really, really wanted to
How much respect, though?
yeah,
like-
no respect for it.
Okay.
But like I talked about at the beginning of this episode, because of the subject matter, it's something you really want to do a good job with. And so I think the three of us collaborating has given it the treatment it needs. So thanks. I'm really impressed with it, you know, because it's my song, and that's what's most impressive. The production secondary.
For a second song to this show, I think it's fantastic. I think it's a fantastic song anyway, but especially for it being your second song, it's just it's really great.
I
Yeah.
concur. It's always been a good song. It just needed to be cohesive. I think Wade really did a great job of organizing the chapters.
Yeah. Nice job. Nice job,
Yeah,
everybody.
it's It's great. I think
it
that was a
done?
good. It's a team sport. It was a good.
Yeah,
team, it was a good group effort.
It's done. Honest to God, I wanted to hear what you did to it, and I didn't hear anything that I was like, okay, I'm walking back that statement. I think she's ready.
Sweet.
Put it as track 5 or 6.
Yeah, definitely not first track material.
Yeah.
Guys,
Pressing.
episode 1, season 2.
Whoa!
We just did it.
Oh, hey.
Whoa! What? Oh,
Well, I mean, it's.
what happened?
I'm refusing to get excited because 40 episodes from now we're going to think this one sucks. So.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
we've had a
and
lot
then-
of.
And then Sarah will comment,
Right, it's like, well, back
I
in
want to
the-
hear another Patrick song because I'm not good with just an okay song.
Right.
Then she'll cover up my face.
Right.
So a lot of feedback we've gotten from season 1, episode 1 of season 1. That song came in on a lot of top lists. So
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's our goal for this one too.
we like to peak early around here.
Yep.
So BSers, thank you so much for listening to. Wait, what did we decide our perspective show is called? Point of view or something? Viewpoint. You've been listening to
Viewpoint.
Viewpoint.
Viewpoints.
As always, you can listen to the before and after versions of these songs on our website, belongingsongs.com. I've got to figure out what to do with, you can only have 60 songs per page. We've already got 2 pages of songs. I might be getting rid of the demo versions from season 1.
I think
and
that's
just have
fair.
the finished versions there, and then we'll do the demo and finished versions for season 2.
They're limited edition, baby.
Right.
Yeah.
Get it while it's
check
hot.
that out. You can always send us a message by hitting up the forums page on our website or emailing us directly at bs@belongingsongs.com.
We've still got stickers. If you want
We've got
stickers, shoot us a
stickers.
message.
We will mail them to you. Hopefully big things will happen this season. New t-shirts or merch, maybe.
Gilbert Gottfried.
Oh yeah.
guest hosting. We're on Instagram, Belonging Songs. Also, this podcast is produced by Satellite Chicken Sound Lab. If you or anyone you know needs help
I will
producing
say
a podcast,
What the fuck?
I'll say the satellite chicken right now, top notch. Till
Yeah,
it
so-
fell off the roof.
we're zooming. It's storming at Brad's house. He's got the chicken up there, and we've been able to get through this. So check out satellitechicken.com for more information on that. And as always, thank you so much for listening. We will see you here again next week.
Need another magic night at Brad's. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's good. Boom, done. Next.